What is up, everybody? We are live. I think you can hear me? Question mark. How's everybody doing today? Good to see you. Welcome back to another Aaron Waller Live. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things, mainly about HBO and their sort of how they're changing the game of movies. Sorry if I seem a little bit distracted. I was trying to keep an eye on the CCXP event, which is a Comic-Con more or less event for Latin America. Now, the reason I've been kind of keeping an eye on this, it just, I think, ended. But the reason I was keeping an eye on it is supposedly there was a chance that something about Spider-Man 3, our sort of first look, was supposed to come out today. Or not today specifically, but it was announced that we're most likely going to get a first look in December. It seemed like that was kind of the perfect time. Plus, there was a video, I think, last week where the official sort of Latin America Sony page or something like that had posted something related to like the three Spider-Men together. So if there was a time for them to make a announcement, it was most likely going to be this, but it looks like it's pretty much over and there's really not any announcements there. So I was hoping to have like a first look live exclusive type of thing, but we're just going to go with the topic that we have at hand. So today I wanted to talk about the big HBO thing that just recently came out this last week, that they're having a deal. Actually, let's put up the graphic. I have a graphic. There we go. So the big HBO and Warner Brothers sort of deal that sort of came out this past week, which is that all of the 2021 releases from Warner Brothers are going to be streamed directly to HBO, or you can watch them on HBO Max. Is actually what's going to be, or you can see them in theaters. So it's going to be a dual release. Now this is going to be changing movies and how we've kind of seen things in the light of this pandemic, and I think it's really the first step forward. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. We'll talk about the movies that are currently slated from Warner Brothers. Obviously this isn't going to be every single movie is going to HBO Max, but it's just going to be Warner Brothers specific. They do have several titles. I think there were like 14, some of which sound interesting, others not so much. But we'll go ahead and go through each one, see if they sound interesting or what we're excited about, and we'll take it from there. But first, let's head over to the comment section. Also, make sure you hit the like button if you do like this video or live stream. Let me know if you're here with me in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button and check out the affiliate links down below, as they do help out the channel if you did want to help out the channel. So let's see who's here. We have got Scooby Life. Let me move. Am I lagging? I don't know if I'm lagging. Actually, we're gonna remove HBO and Warner Brothers. Move this here. Scooby Life. We have Scooby Life in the house. How are you? Hope you're doing well this Sunday. We have Ryan. If it changes, Ryan's in the house. What is up, my friend? How are you? And that's all we have commenting so far. But I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for joining me. So today, let's go ahead and go back to the graphic. Okay, so yeah, like I mentioned, we are talking about HBO Max. It's probably not going to be a very long stream today. I was kind of banking on that Spider-Man thing that I was telling you about just a minute ago to make it a little bit longer, closer to that hour mark, but we're just going to hang out. We're going to talk about this. And then we'll call it a night and hope everybody enjoys their night. So let's pull up. I'm going to pull up on my phone here because I saved it. So some of the movies, I pretty much broke down everything already for you just now that about the Warner Brothers and HBO Max. So I think this is a smart move from Warner Brothers. You're going to get the people who are willing to go out in the pandemic, but you're going to be drawing a lot of people to HBO Max. Now, HBO Max has quickly become probably one of my favorite streaming services that I've utilized. It's got a ton of different options that are super great. Well, it's great that it has a bunch of options, but some of the movies aren't the best, and you'll find out in my upcoming videos about some of those, as a lot of my upcoming cinematic relates are centered around movies that actually are on HBO Max. So we'll get there down the road, but for the most part, where was I going with this? I don't know where I was going with this. Favorite streaming service. Sorry. So they quickly became one of my favorite streaming services. Now, HBO Max is also probably one of the highest in terms of tiers and like payments for a streaming service currently out right now. Now, obviously, you have stuff like Amazon Prime, which if you are a Prime member, you already have exclusive access to, so it kind of comes with it. But if you're like, that's like $120 something or roughly a year. I don't know what the cost of just Prime Video by itself would be. I don't think there is such a thing. And if there was, it would probably be right around that same range. Netflix is currently bumping up the cost of a lot of their service. I believe I just got a notification the other day that they're bumping up to about $17.99 per month. I don't know if that's the UHD stuff, like the 4K just alone. I don't know how their tier systems works, but they are going up currently. Now, HBO Max, well, Hulu is kind of a different situation. So Hulu you can get bundled with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, which is roughly about, I think, $14.99 or $12.99, something like that, for all three. But I have separate Hulu and Disney Plus because Hulu is, I have the ad-free version, which is a little bit more expensive, and I have Disney Plus, which is just by itself like $7. Not that big of a deal. I like to have my movies and shows ad-free and just keep them separate just to make life a little bit easier. That's just my personal preference. But back to HBO Max, that one I think is about $14 to $15.99 per month. So it is one of the more expensive ones if you're looking at just a one platform situation, other than the bump that's coming with Netflix. So it is one of the more top tier ones, but I definitely think you get your money's worth in terms of what you're actually getting in the content. There's kids content, obviously. There's a lot of great blockbuster movies on there. Netflix has some, but they also incorporate a lot of garbage. So I don't really know if Netflix is I think they're kind of fading themselves out with what they have. Not that I'm thinking that Netflix is going to be gone anytime soon, but I do think that a lot of the content that they are producing and putting out there, I find myself watching Netflix less and less than a lot of these other streaming services. So it's possible that if any of them, I think that one might be one of the top that might have to get the axe, just because there's stuff on there that I don't care to watch. There is stuff on there, but it's so sporadic that I don't know if it's worth keeping month after month after month. But that's a different video that I have an idea for, so we'll get there down the road. Whoops, just bumping stuff. See what's going on in the chat really quick. Not lagging. Okay, cool. Maybe it was just my computer. Figured that with everything going on, movies would change to at-home options. Yeah. And I think what's interesting about this is that they're going to release simultaneously. It's not going to be like so currently the rule is that a movie has to be released and it has to be in theaters for, I want to say, like 7 weeks before they can start releasing digital or physical media. Like they would take it out and then release it in another platform. This one eliminates that completely and allows for the duality of people going out and willing to see things in theaters, which is great, but also allow the people that are a little bit more scared to go out during a pandemic, especially during a lot of the spikes recently, to be able to still participate and see the movies. Plus, HBO Max is getting a massive surge in subscribers, probably because of this very announcement. Most movies happening until mid next year. Yeah, we're gonna go over some of the movies, Scooby, to see what's gonna be coming out and what we're excited to see. Hey Archer's in the house. Got linebacker on. I watched your Vlogmas this morning, and you were wearing your linebacker, and I was like, "Where's my linebacker shirt?" I found it. I put it on. Notice that it has TCM channels, so you get to see older movies. Yes, it does have a lot of older movies as well. It has basically every single Godzilla movie. It has the first 3 Die Hard movies, which is awesome. It has a lot of old stuff, actually. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of content in HBO Max. $17.99. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and then like Ryan had his experience, he got his HBO Max basically for free because of his contractor. He has deal with AT&T. So there is a way to get access to it through other means. If you're a person that has all these other things and don't upgrade a certain service or anything like that, just for an example of what's cost what. Okay, so let's talk about the movies that are supposed to come out. So let me bring up my phone here. 2 seconds. Sorry. Okay, so this is the HBO Max Warner Brothers 2021 release schedule. So let's see if we can bring it up on here. What website is this? This is... Sorry. So yeah, let me know if there's anything. Tenet comes out in a few days. I'm really excited to hopefully watch that finally because I missed it. See if we can pull it up and we'll go through it together so I don't just look at my phone and you guys can have something fun to look at in the meantime. Makes it more interactive. Let me know also if I look a little bit dark. I'm trying a little bit of a different lighting setup, so I don't know if it's looking okay. And the music is also playing, that's good. These are all things that I'm testing constantly. I haven't gotten my video up yet about my camera unboxing. I got super busy this week. So what else is new with you? My internet sucks when I'm live streaming, so we may have to go with, hold on, Max. You're just watching some guy talk to himself. And blah, blah, blah. Nope, that's not the right article. Oh, here we go, release schedule. Thank you, Scooby, for telling me I'm not dark. I'm trying it out to where I only have one light that's sort of like helping accent some of me, and then trying to keep my background a little bit darker to sort of separate me from it, and you can kind of see some of the stuff a little bit better, or at least like the screen, the letters, and some of the little knickknacks. Hey Archer mug, Pax's mug, some of the pops here and over here. Okay, so this is not the right article. Memento, por favor. So I just picked up this random website here. It's called Decider. I've never heard of it, but apparently they have some of the release stuff. So let's switch over. Okay. Whoops, let's take off some of this stuff so you guys don't have to look at everything. I don't care, Decider. Okay. So this is the 2021 release date and schedule on Decider.com. I believe it's a .com. So here we have the HBO Max. Oh my god, I'm getting pop-ups galore. Should I turn on my VPN or something? Okay. Alright, so this is the HBO Max Warner Brothers 2020 release schedule, starting with Mortal Kombat. Now, this is set to release January 15, 2021. So we're talking like around the corner. Now, there's a lot of good things about this and a lot of bad things about this. Number one, we were super excited for a new Mortal Kombat movie. A lot of people like the original Mortal Kombat. The first one, I think 97 or 96, that movie came out. Not a lot of fans of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I still like it, even despite its cheesiness. But Mortal Kombat is the first release here, and my concern is that it's coming out in January. Now, my only hope for this movie is because it's coming out via a streaming service and released outside of theaters. A lot of January releases tend to suck. Same thing for February. So it's not very comforting seeing Mortal Kombat supposed to be releasing January 15th. But hopefully there will be something good there. Maybe. I'm not really gonna hold my breath. And then here we have The Little Things. Now, this is a movie that I've never heard about, starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. It sounds really cool from the synopsis, though. So it's basically like Denzel Washington's like the hard, grizzled cop. Rami Malek is like a new detective that's joining him, and they're going after a serial killer, Jared Leto, in California. That's basically the premise based on what I'm reading here. Now, that sounds super cool, but it's basically Training Day and Seven thrown together, because it says like Deke, who it says is Washington, is talented at seeking out details in any case. He strays from the rules and his own unconventional methods, landing Baxter, Rami Malek's character, in a dilemma. It basically sounds like Training Day, and then add in the serial killer aspect of Seven with Jared Leto. Again, I haven't heard of this movie, but it sounds kind of interesting. I'm hoping it's good. We'll see. Tom and Jerry is supposed to be coming out in March. So there's a big jump. So we go from January, 2 movies in January, from mid-January and late January, and then we don't get another release, at least according to this website, until March. So that's all of February that there's nothing. I don't think that's a big deal. HBO Max comes out with a ton of new content every single month. But there's that. And then, so we have Tom and Jerry. I talked about this last week. How can I get, I don't like that I have all these ads on the side. It really bothers me. How do I wonder if there's a way. I'm gonna stop sharing with you guys. I get to look at my mug here really quick. I think there's a way, Archer, you're the pro at this, so you would be able to do it. Want to do video and sorry. I'm looking at how I can share, but like not share everything type of thing. Don't know if that makes sense. I'm scared if I turn on my VPN and all that stuff now that it's gonna kill the stream, and I really don't want to do that, preferably. You know what? We're not gonna worry about it. It is what it is. Pull this up. Oh, there's Pat Flynn's shirt that Archer designed, so make sure to check that out. I left that up so I wouldn't forget to get it. Okay, there we go. So Tom and Jerry, yeah, we talked about that, I think, last week. Somewhat excited. I prefer that it comes out in a streaming service. I don't think a lot of people would want to go to the theaters to see Tom and Jerry. That's my own personal opinion. I actually have no idea if that's actually true or not. But for the most part, I just don't really see a reason to want to go see Tom and Jerry right away or rush out to see it. It works great for the kids. If we don't have to rush out and see it, I guess. So, I mean, there's that. And if it's releasing in March, I think kids would still be in school. So that's just one of my own personal opinions there. Next is something called The Many Saints of Newark. I've never heard of this either. It's got Michael Gandolfini, Ray Liotta. I have no idea what this is. Oh, it's basically a Sopranos something about Tony Soprano. Honestly, I could care less about that. I've never really seen The Sopranos. If you're interested, cool for you. I'm glad you're going to get some Sopranos content, but I've never seen it, and I could kind of care less. Reminiscence with Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson. Sci-fi drama, follows Nick Bannister living in Miami in the future. Rising seasons transform the city. It's Escape from New York. I don't know. Nick has a unique ability to let his clients revisit the memory of their past, so it's Total Recall. When he meets whoever, he immediately falls for her, but another client's memories make him question what he thought he knew about her. So it's Total Recall with Hugh Jackman. There's not really, I mean, it's not exactly Total Recall, but I mean, just based on that very short synopsis, it sounds exactly like it. It's basically memory implants and all this other stuff, so Doesn't seem like a good thing there. Godzilla versus King Kong. This one is kind of 50-50 for me. It's basically sets it up everything for you. It comes out in May. It's going to be the big Godzilla versus King Kong battle, at least in the current timeline that we've ever seen. Last one with Godzilla was Godzilla King of the Monsters, as well as the last King Kong movie was Kong Skull Island, Return to Skull Island, or Kong... it's going to bother me. It was Kong something. I think it was Kong Skull Island. Yeah, it's called Kong Skull Island. Okay. So yeah, so mild interest, not really a lot there for me. But I will tease, there is something on this list related to these movies for upcoming Cinematic Relate, so make sure you check that out. But that's just going to be a big CGI monster fight. Would it look cool on the big screen? Probably. But would I ever realistically go and see this movie in theaters? No, never. Probably. Next is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So this is based on a true story, I guess, with The Conjuring. Follows up with The Warrens. Comes out in June, which is a good time for some weird reason for a lot of horror movies, in my opinion. The Conjuring movies, for the most part, have done a lot of good sort of business, I guess, but the first one was my favorite. The second one was okay. This is technically The Conjuring 3, but there have been so many other Conjuring movies that we've seen. With Annabelle, there's been like 5 Annabelle movies at this point. There was The Nun. There was, I feel like I'm missing one. Curse of La Llorona, I think, was a Conjuring movie. There's been a lot, and there's just been so many of them that I feel like I don't really care anymore, I guess. But because this one sticks back with the Warrens, maybe it will be interesting, because the first Conjuring movie was great. Second one was pretty good. Now this one is officially going back with the Warrens, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we can kind of return to form in that aspect. I don't think it's not being directed by James Wan, which has me a little bit concerned, because I think he did the first 2, or at least definitely the first one. But fingers crossed, all the best, I guess. My camera display just shut off, so it looks like you can still see me. Let's go to the comments really quick. Anybody have any comments about any of this stuff? Whoops. Let's create an Christmas movie watch list at the end of the year, new and old. Yeah, sure. I actually wanted to do something I did for Halloween, like a Halloween watch list type of thing. That's a good idea, Scooby. I would love to do one about Christmas movies. So I can definitely make one. Be happy to. If there's anything you want to add, feel free to shoot me a message. If I haven't seen it, I'll make sure to get it on the list or anything like that. K-Walk Comedy did a live stream the other day where she was arguing about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. I started to watch it and then I had to go do something, so I didn't get to finish it. But I was thinking about making a video about that as well. So if you guys want to see anything like that, let me know in the comment section or live chat, whatever you want to call it. Didn't watch any of those horror movies. That's okay. If you want to watch any of them, only really watch Conjuring 1 and 2 and Annabelle, I think it's Creation or Origin, something like that. Those are the only ones worth watching. All the other ones, not worth it. Okay, let's go back to this is a thing here. Okay, so next up is In the Heights. Now, this one is going to be in June. It's got Anthony Ramos, directed by John Chu, but it's basically a musical movie that was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Anthony Ramos was in Hamilton as well, so it's basically going to be like a love story done by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Probably a lot of songs, very like Grease-esque, I would guess. For the most part, taking place, I think, in New York and things like that. So I mean, would it be cool? Sure, but it's not a movie that I would be dying to see also. Oh, now this one's a controversial one. Next up we have Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now this one's going to be about starring LeBron James instead of Michael Jordan. I have nothing in terms of what it's going to be in comparison. I'm not excited. I don't think they should have revisited Space Jam. I don't know how the Monstars and the humans or Looney Tunes, whatever the case may be, or what's going to be the whole thing here. Hold on, let's read it. Sequel to the 1996 tells the story of LeBron James' mission to rescue his missing son, Bronny, as he finds his way through Warner Brothers movies and faces off against villain AIG, I'm not sure what that is. And just like the first film, Space Jam 2 will, of course, Bugs Bunny and more Looney Tunes. So it's not really Space Jam. I don't know how this has to do with anything. It sounds more like Looney Tunes back in action than a Space Jam movie. I mean, with Space Jam, at least he was having to fight, or like not fight, but play basketball against the Monstars, basically to save the world. This one, it feels like it has no stakes. He's got to get his son back, but what's the point of going through all these movies and fighting this villain? Plus, hold on, we got to take a look at it. The Space Jam, the new Space Jam 2 jerseys. The new Space Jam jerseys are super ugly. Hold on, let's see if we can find it. Oh, there it is. There's LeBron in the space. Oh my god. I don't want to go to ASOS. No. Sorry for my technical difficulties. Okay. So there we have LeBron in possibly the ugliest basketball uniform I have ever seen in the history of ever. It just looks like garbage. Like, this one made sense back in the 90s. Like, it even looks good now. People have still bought these retro. But this just looks like garbage. Like, the colors are whack. Like, it just, I don't like it. So we're gonna close that before all of our eyes burn. I'm not interested in this one. Would I have seen it anyway? Probably, but also I would have seen it when it came out at home anyway, so I have no interest. Okay, now we're starting into getting into some good things, stuff that people want to see. Now, hopefully we'll get into some good stuff. So let's start with here, which is August the 6th, which is going to be the Suicide Squad. Now, this one's directed by James Gunn. I've done videos on this in the past when they talked about it in the DC fandom when that information all came out the first time. The first Suicide Squad movie I feel like is a bit of a guilty pleasure movie for me. Oh, sorry. This one will be exciting because it's going to be done by James Gunn, who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So I think we're going to actually have some interesting stuff there. Again, though, I feel like I kind of go on the fence. Would I have seen this in theaters? Most likely only just so I could talk about it sooner, but I realistically could care less because the first one left such a bad taste in my mouth, despite it sort of being that guilty pleasure movie for me personally. But I feel like it's one of those movies that I love to hate, but there's just so much interesting things surrounding this, like Idris Elba, obviously Margot Robbie being back as Harley Quinn, James Gunn directing it. So there's a lot of interesting things that would probably drive me to go see it in the theaters, but if I can just see it at home, then I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, now we have the next one, which is Dune. So this one is probably one of the only ones that I would say, when was this supposed to come out? October. This one's supposed to come out October 1st. This is probably the only one that I would say is the most interesting, or one of the most interesting to see on the big screen, because I'm going to butcher his name. Denis Villeneuve is an amazing director who has an amazing style, and I think his style with these sort of actors and what he may be able to put together with them would be the driving force. I haven't read Dune. I bought the book. I haven't bothered to read it. But I feel like that would be the driving force to make me want to go and see this movie as opposed to some of the other ones. But in terms of like the story, it looks cool, but I'm not really like drawn to it. But the visuals and the cast are enough for me. So this one I would be willing to see in the theaters, but because again, I can see it at home, I'm good. Apparently something about Elvis, starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks. I have no interest in an Elvis movie. It's a pass for me. Something King Richard with Will Smith about Venus and Serena Williams and their coach and father Richard Williams. I would have probably passed on this regardless on both Elvis and King Richard. I would have passed heavily on both. Zero interest in either one. Matrix 4. Okay, we're back in the good grace here. Keanu Reeves. The man deserves all of the things. He is one of the greatest. Plus, it's the 4th installment of the Matrix franchise, which I think would be amazing to see on big screen. It's been a long time since we saw the last one. Does it say the last time it came out? No. But the fact that we get to see a Matrix 4, the amount of technology that has increased between the last, let me switch over back to me, so you know, the amount of technology that has made leaps and bounds since the last Matrix movie is completely different game from what it was then. So I'm really hoping that whatever the Wachowski, or I don't know if it's one or both that's directing it, but I don't know what they're going to be able to do, but I really hope to see some really amazing things in this one. Again, this would be one that I'd be willing to go to see in theaters just for that theater experience. But again, because we're at home, I think if you set it up correctly, like you have the right sort of night, you have the right time to watch it, you can pay full time and attention, not being distracted by kids or having to do a bunch of other things on your plate that you may have to get done in the day, and you don't have to like have it on in the background. If you can sit down and watch it, that would be most ideal. That's just my own opinion. But I'm excited for another Matrix movie. Anything involving Keanu is top notch. And I totally missed all of the comments that were here. It was on last night. I think you're talking about the Die Hard discussion with K-Walk Comedy. Yes, I think that was last night. I feel like I need to watch Die Hard again, so there's so much controversy over it. I've been wanting to watch the Die Hard movies again. Speaking of which, Die Hard, I hit 300 subscribers. Yay! Thank you everybody who helped me out with that. I really appreciate it. I think in my next video, I still mentioned how I need help getting there, which if you want to help me out and get me more subscribers, that's great. I greatly appreciate it. But I want to talk to you guys about doing a watch party, as well as I have a giveaway that I was wanting to do. I haven't set up anything for that yet because I wanted some opinions, some thoughts. Do you guys want to do a live sort of giveaway announcement? You want me to just make a video about it? Because I mean, I can just set up all the names. It's kind of complicated because of the way I set up the contest for the giveaway. It's going to involve like my Instagram followers as well as YouTube followers. So it's kind of a mix and match. Plus, I don't know who's going to be able to contact because of it. But let me know what you guys think about that. Also about the watch party, I was originally wanting to do Jack Reacher, but I'm kind of leaning towards maybe a Die Hard. It's been forever since I've seen any of the Die Hards. I think that would be a lot of fun. If there's any movie specifically you guys want to do, I think I really wanted to do Jack Reacher, but it could be anything. I mean, whatever we want, and we can do more watch parties after. It's not a big deal. But what I was thinking about doing is having the live stream on YouTube of me, essentially just me. So that way we don't get messed up with any demonetization, hopefully, or anything like that. And then maybe if you guys don't have access to the movies in any sort of way, I can set up like a Zoom call where we can send like the link or something like that, where you guys can watch it. I know it wouldn't be in like the most ideal crisp quality, but at least that way if you guys wanted to watch it, if you don't have access to it, we could watch it together on Zoom, but for those people who want to have any additional commentary or anything like that, you guys could do it on YouTube, or we can mix and match. I don't really know the best way to do it. We'll figure it out. Space Jam 2, what? Equals, why are you doing this to us? I think it's a cash grab situation. Everybody wants to compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan. They can only go so far in basketball, and so why not just make a movie about them and Looney Tunes and have another comparison? It makes no sense. Space Jam 2 looks horrible. It does. Was driving but got home, bringing stuff in. I hope you're safe bringing things in, and I'm glad you're home. Thanks, Scooby, I appreciate it. Pick one, put the other on the holiday list. $300. Die Hard for $390. You want me to wait for 90? Oh, 300. Okay. Fingers are getting greasy. Okay, so we'll switch it up. Let's do Die Hard for 300. I think it's on currently HBO Max. I think I mentioned that before. So that would be fairly easy for me to get access to be able for all of us to watch. Okay, let's go back to the list. I'm getting distracted. We're already 36 minutes in when I said it wouldn't take us an hour. So let's go back to here, go to here. Okay, Matrix 4 we talked about. Okay, now the rest are to be announced in terms of dates. When was The Matrix supposed to come out? December 22nd. So we're talking about not till Christmas time of next year. We're almost a full calendar year away from Matrix 4. Not surprising considering I think they just recently got close to being done to regular video, or like what they've recorded. And then once they add all the special effects, it sounds about right. It's going to take about a year. Judas and the Black Messiah. Have never heard about this. True story of Fred Hampton. Never heard about him. Leader of Revolutionary Black Panther Party. Okay. Marks the reunion of Get Out. Stars of Get Out, a film produced by Ryan Coogler, Daniel Kaluuya, and Lakeith Stanfield. Oh, that would be pretty interesting. Just from the cast and the topic, I think sounds pretty interesting. I'd be willing to watch that. There was another, I think there's a John Boyega movie that just came out on, I want to say it's Netflix or HBO Max. That looks pretty cool, or is about to come out. I want to check that one out. Malignant. Okay, now this one's directed by James Wan, so this one we could potentially maybe sound interesting. Very little is known about it. James Wan is a well-proven commodity. Directed the first Saw movie, Insidious movie, Conjuring movie. Oh, just the first one apparently, so I guess that answers our question from earlier. Even Fast 7. What he's got, we'll gladly devour. So I guess I would see it just based on that. It's got Jake Abel, who I'm not a super big fan of, but whatever. That one could be so-so. Okay, so this one's the last one on the list. Those Who Wish Me Dead, starring Angelina Jolie, Nicholas Hoult, Tyler Perry. That's one heck of a John Bernthal. That's one heck of a cast. Sheridan is one of the most American directors these days. Okay, there's nothing that we know about this, but assuming that it's Angelina Jolie, it's going to probably be something fairly dramatic, adult drama, but this pairing is a neo-western. It's probably going to be fairly not that interesting to me, but maybe to some of the people that want to watch it, sure. But those are all the ones that are slated from Warner Brothers in 2021. Now, like I mentioned before, it's not the end-all be-all in terms of what's out there. Hit this. For HBO Max and Warner Brothers. There's a ton of other studios, Universal, Disney, obviously. So many different companies that can be releasing movies. Warner Brothers is technically a very small corner of them. They do, however, hold some very big titles, some very interesting titles. So the fact that this can possibly change the way we see movies in the future is a big deal. The way that this pandemic has impacted every business, some that we never even thought could be impacted as heavily as they have been, it's changed things, and maybe for the better for some things, maybe for the worse for others, but it definitely introduces a new challenge. And the way that Warner Brothers is handling it, I think, for what their company is based around, is probably one of the best decisions. I hope that some other studios follow suit. I highly doubt every single one will, considering that this announcement angered a lot of movie theater companies. I believe AMC was probably the biggest and most outspoken. Probably Cinemark got mad about it, and I'm sure there's plenty of other ones. But I mean, I get it. It drastically affects their businesses, but at the same time, you can't always treat everything exactly the same, especially considering the change that this pandemic has caused. So I think there's with a lot of the bad that's come with it, it's giving the opportunity to people like myself, like others, who want to see these films, but still be able to see them in a comfortable setting. Plus, the movie studio itself will still be fine, I'm sure, because I'm sure HBO has a deal in terms of paying them a certain amount, especially if they're getting more subscribers. People are spending more money per month, especially on this platform, especially if they can get those exclusive access titles that are only available in theaters. And they're doing it in a better way than Disney, at least in terms of like what they handled with Mulan, where what they made you pay behind a paywall for like an extra $30. And I think that movie just became available on Disney Plus, and I still haven't watched it. So I don't really have a ton of interest in it, but it's good to know that now I can watch it for free, considering that I forgot about it for about 2 months. So I think that there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, but it's just the future. There's nothing we can really do to fix it without the pandemic first being fixed. And that's still going to take some time. I think that Warner Brothers decided to take that first preemptive step, and I can kind of only hope that some other studios follow suit. I don't think every single one will do it, but I think we may be in the future. Watched it last night. Probably, I think you're talking about Die Hard. Let's do Die Hard for 300. I think that's the best thing to do. We can do Die Hard for 300. Sound good to everybody? But yeah, that's pretty much my spiel for the night. Make sure you hit the like button down below. I would greatly appreciate it if you did like this live stream. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you share these live streams and new videos that I have upcoming all the time with plenty of people. Let's get a subscriber count way up. Let's do a giveaway soon. Let's do a watch party soon. I'll have more info on those things upcoming. But most importantly, make sure you're subscribed, as I will have my camera unboxing, despite me using this for like a week and a half already. That'll be coming up soon, putting the finishing touches on that. Have new Cinematic Late every single Thursday, as well as to go live on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Is there anything else I'm working on? Make sure you check out the AAC, or Animated Apparel Company, YouTube channel and website. I'm going to be working with them on some future projects. They are some really awesome guys, really awesome team. They have all sorts of stuff on Mandalorian coming up all the time, anime stuff, gaming stuff, so many cool pieces, and I'm very humbled to be a part of that. So look forward to any of that stuff. I left a link in it, I think, in my last video, as well as in my next upcoming Cinematic Late on Thursday. So there's that stuff. Also, there are links down in the description down below, which are affiliate links. They greatly help out the channel. If you did feel like using them, you don't have to. You don't have to purchase anything that's on there. It's just an affiliate link that helps out the channel and helps support. If you guys feel like doing some online shopping on Amazon this season, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's wrap it up in the comments. Being both at home and theaters. Me too. K-Walk streams, they even point out the soundtrack is Christmas music. I have to go back and watch it. I didn't get to finish watching it. Okay. Talk to us about the Animated Partridge Show. Okay, so you guys want to hear about that. So, Animated Apparel Company is a company that I'm working with. They have an online store as well as a YouTube channel. So the online store is a lot of t-shirts, a lot of... that reminds me. Let me set up something for you guys. Can I do it while I have you here live? I can. What's it look like? Okay, so this is the website, animatedapparelcompany.com. They have all sorts of awesome t-shirts. Can I just... Actually, you know what? We're just going to do this. Animated Apparel Company, I have a special affiliate code, Aaron20, where you guys can get 20% off of your purchases. They have hats, they have t-shirts, they have all sorts of cool apparel items. I believe they're going to be having some figurines and things like that for upcoming events. Very exclusive stuff, so make sure you guys check out their website, animatedapparelcompany.com. I'm going to be doing some future videos for them, especially around Marvel and DC, but they do have other people that are be joining me doing their own content as well. Joey's doing Star Wars. We have Smith, who does a lot of gaming stuff. There's an anime person, there's a Nintendo person, Jake, there's so many other people who are doing this awesome thing. I just happen to be one small piece of it, but if you do want to check out some of my videos coming on them, I'll announce it on my YouTube or my Instagram whenever I do have a new video up there. But if you did want to subscribe to them in the meantime and check out some of their videos, you most certainly can. And as I mentioned, the animatedapparelcompany.com affiliate code, I always do it backwards, Aaron20. Capitals across, AARON 20, will get you 20% off at the store. After the video, I'll put it in the description as well. I'll put their links, I'll put the affiliate link that I have with them, the code, all that good stuff if you guys want to check it out. But I'm super excited to be working with them upcoming here in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for now. I know I kind of ended the show. Sorry, Scooby. Scooby was like, okay, have a good night. I pretty much ended the show, and then I just started talking to rant about that. Here I trust you. What defines a Christmas movie? Die Hard is the first thing you're first to. Okay, so Die Hard it is. We'll do it in December, considering the grand debate of it's a Christmas movie. I'll set up the live stream around the time that I'll make the video about Die Hard. I'll do some research I've been already working on anyway, and we'll kind of post them simultaneously. I'll make the one video about Die Hard come out, and then I'll do the live stream, and we can hash it out all there live. But yes, okay, I'm finally going to end the live stream. That's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to check out all the stuff down below and everything else that's coming out. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.